Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I want to look at Diffuse and Modnetic, do a walkthrough of these and demo. So these are by developers called Surreal Machines, and they first came out as Macs for Live devices. Well, Modnetic I think has had a fair bit of changes since it came out. It was called Magnetic. Then later these came out on desktop, and now they're available on iOS, iPad and iPhone. So a couple of little things to say. First, I'm going to walk through these in a fair bit of detail. Now, I already did a very detailed walkthrough on Diffuse on my Patreon, so you might want to check that out. That will go into more detail than I'm going to go into here. I've also got a giveaway for someone on YouTube to win one of these for iOS, but I've got more giveaways on my Patreon, including even a chance to win one of these for desktop. So check those out. Also, everybody, just one little favor to ask before I get started. If you are buying these for desktop, please use my plugin boutique link in the pinned YouTube comment. I'll get a little commission. You know, this channel is mostly about iOS music, and unfortunately Apple abandoned the affiliate program for iOS years ago, even before I started my channel. It makes it incredibly difficult for anybody in this space to make money doing YouTube. So if you're buying any desktop plugins, if you can use my plugin boutique link, it would be brilliant. I'd really appreciate it so much. Okay, so let's get stuck in. So these are both basically delay plugins, but Diffuse has more of a kind of concept of trying to fuse delay and reverb, and Modnetic is more of a kind of, it seems to be heavily influenced by Roland space echo and chorus echo chorus, can never remember which one comes first there. You know, it does 501 there, that's that chorus echo. So this one can do a lot of kind of saturation based on different types of hardware units, modulation, chorus, flanger and phaser, and so on. You can do a lot of clever routing of what comes first, you know, reverb or modulation or delay or what. So I'll just take a quick look at each of them. So we'll start with diffuse or diffuse. I don't know, is it a verb? Is it a noun? I'll just call it diffuse. So here, just going through the controls quickly, we have an input knob. This will attenuate the input that's being sent in to be processed. So it won't actually reduce the level of the input. If you're using this with the mix not fully wet, you're still going to hear the input. It's more designed as something that you could modulate. So you could, decide when you want the input signal to be sent through to be processed by the effect. That's the kind of concept. So then here you have repeat, and this will determine the overall length of the echo. It goes up to 1 second, and you can have free or synced to beat. Then here you have regen, that's basically feedback. And then here you have size, and this is a very important one. This and the diffuse knob are the main controls, really. So what size will do, it's nothing about reverb size, it's not like room size or anything. Excuse me. What it will do is determine how much of the echo is used by what. So let me explain that. So basically this will create echoes potentially composed of two parts. One is just your main typical standard echo, and the other one is a multi-tap aspect where you have different patterns, and those patterns can be chosen here. So if you have size all the way down here, it's just going to act as a kind of standard echo where you set, you know, the time here. Let me get it back to a time that works better with this. And here we just got feedback. But if we increase size, if we put it to 100%, now we've only got the multi-tap pattern. So clicking on these will change the pattern. And so then if we set size somewhere here, we're going to have both the standard delay and this multi-tap pattern. And then diffuse. This will basically smear those taps. So we get something more like a reverb. And so then, you know, we can use this knob to morph between a more delay type sound and a more reverby sound. But if we put this up higher, it'll again go into maybe something a bit cleaner, some non-linearities in there. Now I love this rectify button. So this uses wave shaping to create some kind of harmonic distortions. And then here we're controlling the stereo width of the wet. We have a hold button here that it's a sort of infinite mode. But you can still tweak things. I'll click through a few presets. Just to give you a sense of what's there. So there are a lot of nice presets. In here also you'll find the initialize. So you won't find a preset called init or default or anything, you have to use this initialize. So a lot of presets, really nice presets. Organized, as you can see. So some more focusing on this diffusion aspect. Some more echoey, so not really sounding like reverb. FX. So you can see it's very versatile. Here basically more reverbs. I really love the sound of this, it's beautiful. So then here we can control the modulation amount and the spread and whether there will be offset of the modulation on the left and right with this stereo knob. Click through to the next preset. So let me click through some of these patterns. I'll do that in one of the echo ones, we'll notice it more. Okay, you get the idea there. Now, we have here ways to dampen the low or high frequencies. So here we're setting the frequency above or below which things will be dampened, and then using these sliders, we set the amount of damping. Now, pump is interesting. So if we turn pump up, then when the input audio is quieter, the wet signal will become louder and vice versa. Okay, let's go on and look at Modnetic. And let me just change what we're using here. Put this up a little bit. Okay, so Modnetic, based on kind of multi-tap, you know, multiple heads, echoes with multiple heads, Roland space echo, chorus echo, and so on. So this is the more complex of these two plugins, but I do really like that Diffuse one. So I'll just flick through a few presets first. So notice here, nice enough resizing. Not brilliant, okay, it doesn't work that well like this, but still not bad. I like it in this view. Just change the repeat speed here. Okay, so you get a little idea there. Now I'm going to initialize it. And so you can see here, we're currently seeing this echo is on, modulation is off, reverb is on. So there's the reverb off, and now we just got echo. Bunch of different reverb types. So we look at the echo, and let's just talk about how this works. So if we put the repeat value to 1 second and we put head number 1, then we'll have a repeat every 1 second. So here we've got an 8th note repeat, right, 2/16. And so there's a dotted 8th. So here, if we turn intensity down, we will get 1 repeat every 3/16 of a beat. If we choose head 2, then we'll get a repeat every 6/18, and so on. So let's just explain it in seconds. So with a 1 second delay with head 1 activated, we'll get the repeat after 1 second. With head 2 activated, it'll be after 2 seconds. Here it'll be after 3 seconds. 1 and 2, then we'll get a repeat after 1 second and after 2 seconds, and so on. You get the principle. But now we can get more repeats by using the intensity knob, which will feed things back in. Let me jump on. we have here this wow knob for wow and flutter. And the level knob here. And here, look, we have a backwards mode with two different settings, tape and loop. The manual explains what these are. It wasn't all that clear to me, so I won't bother trying to explain it. But they sound great. So that's with hold activated. Like that. Put it on milliseconds. Change the preset. Now, let's look at this character section. So here we have a choice of lo-fi, 501, i.e. chorus echo, old, this is like basically modeling maybe an old unit, and darker sound, and if I remember right, it's all there in the manual. So changing these character settings, now it might not be that noticeable unless you change amount. We actually go through, if we go to the presets, we have some presets which focus on those. So if I just turn everything off, there's no echo, there's no modulation, there's no reverb. Let's just play with character. So when we choose character, things like the internal filters and the way the feedback works exactly and all that stuff will be slightly different. So let's look at modulation. So we have chorus, flanger, and phaser. And for each one, we have a choice of analog, digital, or dub, and this one, character. So here, we can change how this sounds by changing the character type over here. Really nice. For only $6 on iOS, how could you not? Now, these sound really superb. I wasn't that sure about these when I first tried them. I was kind of like, oh god, another analog delay. It's like, not that interesting. But actually, no, they are. And so the reverb types fit into a few different categories, and you can see what category they're in here. So let's hear the, let's turn off modulation maybe. And let's just hear what some of these sound like. I'll keep the echo on. So these are impulse response based. yeah, some are based on, echo machines, and others based on just, room impulse responses, and others are based on amps and preamps and stuff like that. It's a lovely one. This does sound good, doesn't it? Wow. And so you can change your routing. You can have parallel routing. So we can see here the way the routing is set up. M meaning modulation, E for echo, R for reverb. So here the reverb will run parallel to the echo. Here it's after, and here it's before. Now, one thing they seem to be very proud of is that they've managed to make this so you can switch things, and there's not going to be any clicking or anything, and I do always really appreciate that. So these apps are very, very well suited for live tweaking. And so here you're changing where the modulation comes. Pre-dry, pre-wet, post-echo. And then over here you've got a mix section. With bass and treble knobs. Noise and width. So noise will depend on the character that you choose. That's with hold on. So I'll leave this there, everyone. I hope you found this useful. Do please remember, if you're buying these or any desktop plugins, please use the plugin boutique link that I put down in the pinned comment. If you're a fan of my channel and you want to support my work, you maybe save that link in your Safari bookmarks or whatever. Use it every time you're buying a plugin on Plugin Boutique. It would really help me out. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.